Hey everyone, it's time for my Once Upon a Time recap. Yeah, I'm very disappointed with this show. Tonight's episode I thought was awful. Um, what we got to see is we got to see into Jekyll and Hyde's past, which is interesting because we got a little bit of their backstory, and um, we find out that Jekyll is in love with this girl Mary, and he's trying to get into this prestigious science society, and Mary's father doesn't want him in because his experiments are dangerous. But Rumple apparently approaches him because he wants to see if his serum can work. And I kept thinking that would is this around the time that Belle was with Rumple in the Enchanted Forest, because maybe Rumple would try to separate himself from the crocodile. Um, he actually he actually got a new haircut this this episode to, I would assume, to impress Belle, and Belle is not having any of it. She definitely can see who he really is, and Killian is actually there to protect Belle. He gives her this gel to communicate with him in case anything were to happen. And what's interesting is that Rumple wants to win Belle back, but yet he puts this protection spell around Killian's ship so that Hyde can't get in, but then Belle can't get out. So literally, Belle is living in a prison. We see in Storybrooke everything trying to go back to normal. David is making Emma pancakes, and he's worried about Killian moving in with Emma, and everything's trying to go back to normal. Snow is starting to teach again, and we get to see Jasmine be her teacher's assistant, and I have to say, I get this weird vibe from her, like there's something off about her. Like, I think that she might be the villain. And we see that Snell's kind of having a rough time teaching the kids and trying to encourage them. So she kind of changes the way that she used to teach them to something new. Like, I guess basically she's teaching them how to use bow and arrow now. The Queen and Hyde are like teaming up. It seems like they're a really good team. I still find it very disgusting that the Queen is into gold, because it just disgusts me that the Queen was with the same people that her mother Cora was with. And what was very disappointing is the fact that they're making pancakes in Emma's house, and Henry comes running down the stairs for the first day of school, and the writers said specifically that Henry was living with Regina now. So, what is this? What is Henry doing at Emma's house? Does he live with her now? I thought that, he was living with Regina. I mean, is this the writers giving us false hope again? I have no idea. So when we go into the past of Jekyll and Hyde, we learn that Mary is actually falling in love with Hyde, and Hyde's actually falling in love with Mary, but it's kind of like a love triangle, because Jekyll loves Mary, but Mary doesn't love him. Hyde loves Mary, and the feelings reciprocated, but apparently, because of Hyde, Jekyll's able to get into that society, but Rumple wants him to try his experiment one more time just to make sure it works, and apparently, after Hyde and Mary share a kiss, Mary's quite surprised to wake up with Jekyll in the same bed as her, and Jekyll becomes furious that Mary doesn't love him and that she loves Hyde, and he actually throws Mary out the window. And I gotta say, I so called it. I knew that we could not trust Jekyll. He just seemed like he was hiding something, and up to no good. So Jekyll was actually the true villain out of Hyde and them. So we also find out from the episode that well, actually, they're fighting because Jekyll was going to harm Belle, and Belle couldn't do anything, couldn't escape the ship because Rumple put that protection spell on, so she couldn't escape, and Hyde wouldn't let Rumple do anything, so Killian actually came to the rescue, and he stabbed Jekyll, and that actually killed him, and it also killed Hyde too, so apparently what we now figured out is that the only way to kill the double part of you is to kill the original, so of course, the only way to stop the queen is to kill Regina, so I just don't understand what the writers are doing. It just seems so ridiculous. I mean, if Regina didn't listen to Snow and just would have went to her sister to try to talk to her, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. I truly believe that Snow's family is trying to ruin the Mills family. You've seen in the past how Snow's mother ruined Zelina's life, and now it seems like Snow is ruining Regina's life. It's just ridiculous how Regina can never be happy. I mean, God forbid she's happy for a few minutes. I mean, Emma gets her man, but no, Regina can't have that. Killian's able to come back from the underworld, but of course Robin Hood can't. So Regina makes Emma a promise the same promise that she made to Emma in Camelot, that she'll take care of things if anything were to happen, which is code for, she'll take care of Henry if anything happens, which we already know she already is because, Henry favors Emma over Regina, and the writers have said before they're not anti-adoption, but it pretty much seems like they're anti-adoption on the show, judging by how Henry acts toward Regina, and how it seems like no matter how much Regina tries to change, Henry's always going to favor Emma over Regina, and it's sickening. I mean, it questions me if I ever want to adopt in the future. Like, I see what Regina's went through, and I never want to go through that. So I'm very curious to see what's going to happen to Regina, and we find out at the end of the episode that, in fact, it looks like Jasmine is the villain now that Jekyll and Hyde are gone. And it looks like the previews for next week we're going to see a background into Aladdin and Jasmine's story, so that should be interesting, considering Aladdin's supposed to be a savior and Jasmine seems like she's a villain. So, yeah, I'm more than disappointed with the show. Like I mentioned before in my other recap, that if I wasn't 6 seasons in, I'd stop watching it. In fact, I think the writing on the show is so bad right now that if you guys are starting to watch it, I would definitely stop, because the writing is horrible and the writers give you nothing but false hope, and the most popular character on the show can never be happy at all, and it just teaches us that no matter how good things are in your life and no matter how happy you are, something's always going to be there to destroy it. That's what I'm getting from the show, and I just hate the storyline this season. I've mentioned this also in my recaps, how I can't stand how they're taking the quote-unquote bad part of Regina out. The queen is not Regina. That's only a part of who she is. Just like me, I have autism. Autism is not who I am. That's only a part of me. It doesn't make me who I am. I am Kelsey, just like Regina is Regina. I mean, look at how far she's come, even with the queen inside her still. I mean, I think she would have been able to cope with what was going on around her if she had a support system and not just say, oh, well, just get rid of the queen. Here's a serum. Here you go. It's just ridiculous. I'm just so sick of the show already. I'm hoping the writing improves. The only reason why I'm sticking around is because I'm so loyal to Lana. I'm such a fan of hers. I love her work and I love her acting. I know what's going on in the show isn't her fault at all. I think she's a remarkable person, and she's very talented. And I also am sticking around because of Bex. Those two are basically the only reasons why I'm watching it. They're the heart and souls of Once Upon a Time. And honestly, if they didn't have Lana and Bex on the show wouldn't be what it is. It definitely would not be the same and be the success that it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's episode more than I did. If you guys want to watch Once Upon a Time, it is on Sundays, 8 p.m. on ABC. I hope you guys enjoyed my recap, and until next time, stay regal.